Yeah.
Let's gather, hold hands for surely the presence.
So you can sing along with this. It's a chant, it's kind of. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing faith today. I'm choosing faith today. I am walking the road of heaven right now. I'm choosing faith today. I'm choosing hope today. I'm choosing hope today. I am walking the road of heaven right now. I'm choosing hope today. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road of heaven right now. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing joy today. I'm choosing joy today. I am walking the road of heaven right now. I'm choosing joy today. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now. I'm choosing heaven today.
Are we there? Yes. Yeah. Great job, Barbara. Thank you. Always good work. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. And welcome to Unity of the Sea Course, our Sunday service. And welcome to all the folks out there listening. And I would ask everybody, if you haven't done so already, would you please silence your cell phones? And we'll begin with the daily word for today. Today's daily word is divine order. Hopefully. I see divine order expressing everywhere. I delight in the glorious colors, fragrances, and arrangements of plants in a garden. I celebrate the imagination, the meticulous planning, and the diligent work that transforms a patch of ground, some seeds, water, and fertilizer into a beautiful, life-filled place. I recognize the role of divine order in the creation of this garden, expressing through everyone who worked to bring it into being. It began as an idea in divine mind. Someone received the idea. Cooperating minds developed a plan. Willing hands prepared soil, planted seeds, then watered and tended the growing plants. My spiritual vision perceives divine order, the eternal dance of mind, idea, and manifestation, expressing everywhere. And from Genesis chapter 1, verse 31, God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day. I see divine order expressing everywhere. And I'd like to ask everyone to please join us for fellowship after service, where we bring food and conversation to our mission statement. And so now, would you please join me in reciting our mission statement? I'll lead the way. We are a loving, nurturing community dedicated to being a positive path to spiritual living, to awaken oneness with God within us all. We dedicate this year to activating the abundance and prosperity in our lives with gratitude, love, action, and connecting to the divine within us and the world around us. Some announcements we can tell you about. Charlie's meditation on the first Monday of the month at 7 p.m., that's correct? His last one was this past Monday and is on our Facebook page, so you can view it. We have also been broadcasting live to YouTube on our YouTube channel. Just type in Unity of the Seacoast in the YouTube search button. But even easier, just go to our webpage at unityoftheseacoast.org and scroll down until you see the links to bring you to our live services or even past services. And our donate button is there. It's the blue button called Tithely. Just click on it and there you go. If you prefer to mail your donation, our mailing address is Unity of the Seacoast, McConnell Center, Suite 246, 61 Locust Street, Dover, New Hampshire, 03820. And don't forget to check out our meetup groups for all our events. You can access this on our webpage as well. I invite you to join us for our poetry group, Poets in Unity. We want to thank Shane Moran for hosting this. It is the third Saturday of each month, the 20th, at 2 p.m., and it is always a good discussion. We also tell you about game night. Beginning in March, it's now the fourth Friday each month at 6:30 p.m. Game night is a time to get together. All are welcome to attend. You do not need to be a member of Unity. It's just fun and socializing. You come and you can bring a game of your choice if you like. We have card games, board games, and you can bring whatever you want to bring to share. It's just a fun evening. Also, Reiki Circle, Wednesday, May 1st, 3 to 5 p.m. On Saturday, May 4th, we will join Operation Blessings One-Day Serve in Portsmouth, 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., with lunch provided. Many churches will be involved. And our acoustic circle, hosted by Charlie with Mikey G. If you play or sing or just want to listen, please join us next Sunday, April 14th, from noon to 3 p.m. That is a fun thing. You really would like that. Next week, Tom's talk will be the next installment on prosperity. He will look at how our attitudes affect prosperity. And now we do namaste. Namaste is a Sanskrit word, and it means the Christ in me sees the Christ in you, or simply, the best in me sees the best in you. This is a greeting that we do here each and every week. We place our hands together in a prayer position. You look at each individual in the eye and you say, Namaste.
I was dreaming, in my dreaming, of an aspect bright and fair. In my sleeping, it was broken, but my dream, it lingered near. In from the shining valleys where the pure air recognized my senses are newly opened, I awakened to the cry that the people have the power to redeem the work of fools upon the meek. The gracious shower, it's decreed, the people rule. The people have the power. 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 Vengeful aspects become suspect, and bending low is after here, and the armies ceased advancing because the people had their ear, and the shepherds and the soldiers lay beneath among the stars, exchanging visions and laying arms to waste in the dust, in the form of shining valleys where the pure air recognized. And my senses are newly opened, I awakened to the cry. The people have the power. The people have the power. People have the power. People have the power. Where there were deserts, I saw fountains like cream, the waters rise, and we strolled there together with none to laugh or criticize. And the leopard and the lamb lay together, truly bound. I was hoping, in my hoping, to recall what I had found. I was dreaming in my dreaming, God knows, a pure view. As I lay down in my sleeping, I commit my dream to you. The people have the power. 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 The power to dream, to rule, to wrestle the world from two fools It's decreed the people rule. It's decreed the people rule. People have the power. The people have the power. The people have the power. The people have the power.
Barbara, that was awesome. Great job as always. Thank you. Now it's time to introduce our speaker. And this young lady, I remember her from years ago, a devoted Unity person. And she's now a licensed Unity teacher and representing Unity Eastern Region, correct? So please join me in welcoming Amy Joslin.
Oop, I'm on, yahoo! I think they can hear me at Dunkin' Donuts. Well, good morning, everyone. It's always a pleasure to be here. Can you turn me down a little? Maybe just a little bit? I'm hurting my own ears by my speaking. All right, so my talk title today is What Do We Create From Here? So when I was asked to speak by Tracy on this particular Sunday, knowing it was the Sunday after Easter, Easter is it's such a tumultuous time, right? It's the Holy Week is the highs and the lows and of the crucifixion and then the resurrection and the celebration. And I thought, well, now what? And then I kind of wondered if Jesus and the disciples, if they were around today, if they'd be going off to Disney World, like the winners of the Super Bowl. Like, you know what? Now that if you've resurrected from the dead, what are you going to do, Jesus? I'm going to Disney World. So it is the week after Easter, where we celebrate the story of Jesus' journey that culminates from his resurrection from crucifixion. And in Unity, because we look at the Bible, we both metaphysically assigning meaning to the different characters and the places in the Bible, and we also look at it myotically, which in a nutshell means that how does the story relate to me? And what's great about that is we can do that with the Bible, but we can also do it with bodies of any body of literature, like the Wizard of Oz. Who am I in this? How am I the lion? How am I Dorothy? So we get to look at how we relate to the different characters and how the story of Jesus' triumphant resurrection over crucifixion, how that is an example of the situations and circumstances in our lives. So I've been thinking about the disciples a lot, especially their journey leading up to the resurrection. And when we think back on those times, much like the times that we're living in now, they were very tumultuous. There was a lot going on. And can you just imagine how intense that was at that time? I've been thinking about Peter, the one that Jesus felt most seen by, denying him not just once, but 3 times. And I've been thinking about Judas and his betrayal. And then I think of Thomas, who was a kinesthetic learner, he says, I won't believe it until I actually feel the holes, right? I think Thomas got a bad rap. I'm like, he was just a kinesthetic learner. But I look at that in both their divinity and their humanity. And did you know that when people are in crisis, they most often revert to like their embedded theology. They revert back to like that sense of victim consciousness. So it wasn't uncommon, or it wasn't beyond being human that the disciples would react. And in fact, Jesus told them they would. And I can imagine you're 3 years into this teaching, and now all of a sudden, all heck breaks loose. And so it's easy to identify with both the human struggle and the triumphantness. So what do we create from here? Now, for me as a true student, when I consider this, This is what it's about. It's after considering the literal translation, the metaphysical interpretation, the cultural context in which the Gospels were written, realizing too that they were written 100 years later, after, and that they most likely weren't written by someone by the name of Matthew, Luke, or John. But here's what matters the most is what we do with it all. What can we learn from it? And then, most importantly, how do we apply it in our lives? So why? Why the heck is she talking about this? So why? See, although I don't believe that we always have control over our circumstances and situations that come our way, I do believe that we have the power within us to create how we experience them. What's the third unity principle? You have it up there as we are co-creators with God, creating our reality through our thoughts and mind. In the Verity languaging, it's I create, right? And the whole idea is that humans create their experiences based on the activity of their thinking. Everything in the manifest realm has its origin in thought. And then what's the fifth unity principle? I live. Knowing and understanding the laws, also known as truth, are not enough. A person must live the truth that he or she knows. So it's not enough to study. It's not enough to read the books. You've got to use it. You've got to utilize it. See, our power to create, an awesome job on that song. Awesome job on that song. People of the Power. I chose that, and if you have a chance, Google Patti Smith. She has a version of that she did with choir that's really it's just awesome, and it's really powerful. But so our power to create exists in the here and now. It's not in the past, although we can choose in the present to forgive the past and make amends. But that happens right here and now. We can make plans for the future, but the future also happens as a result of the choices and the actions that we take and the seeds that we plant right here and now in the present moment. Jim Palmer, he's the founder of CNRS, which stands for the Center for Non-Religious Spirituality. I love how he put this. He stated that you think peace and freedom and joy and liberation, wholeness and harmony you desire is beyond your reach, and that you're separated from it. And I tell you that it's right at your fingertips. What you seek is not somewhere else or in later. It is right here, right now, in this very moment. What you've been searching for your entire life has always been within you and is you. Quit looking for it out there. Go into yourself and see how deep the place is from which the kingdom flows. At its source, you will find your answer and your search will be over. And Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, put it this way: your mind is a garden, your thoughts are the seeds. You can grow flowers or you can grow weeds. We are powerful creators. So what do we create from here? What do we create from here? And how do we do it? First, I think it starts with our awareness. We can't shift and change what we're not willing to take a look at or what we're not aware of. Be willing to look at your own biases. Prayer and meditation, those are huge in Unity, right? And I can't speak highly enough about the importance of developing a daily practice in prayer and meditation. Because that really, when the rubber meets the road, when you have an shift moment, your practices are what going to sustain you and remind you of the truth. Forgiveness work towards yourself and others. Pause. I came across these words. I love Facebook. It helps that I'm because I'm a licensed Unity teacher and I have a lot of minister friends. I have a lot of people that put a lot of inspiring stuff out. And I came across this from a woman by the name of Rachel Marie Martin, and it's the power of the pause, and it says pause. There is power in space, in a breath, in a pause before you respond. You get to choose hate or love, anger or empathy, frustration or opportunity, lonely or together, irritation or understanding. Be kind. Pause. I've talked about HALT before, too hungry, angry, lonely, tired. And the whole idea of that is if you're feeling any of those, that's a really good idea to pause. It took me a long, couple decades to realize that, but it really is so much better when we just take a moment to pause, recenter, pray, meditate before we speak sometimes. So I thought, where it has the week after Easter and the disciples have been forefront, that we might have some fun with the 12 powers. So how are you using your 12 powers? I'm just going to move that up. So if you're not familiar with the 12 powers, get yourself the book Power Up, which is right over there, by Paul Hasselbeck and Cher Holton. It's a great book. There's also a larger version than the one I have. Actually, I can move because I'm not tied to anything. So get yourself this book. I like this because it's small and it's easy and it's succinct and it's Power Up. Linda Martilla-Whitslett also has a book called Divine Audacity, which is awesome. And The Powers of Man by Charles Fillmore are great too. That gives you a little history about why he chose the different disciples. But this is my favorite book because it really gives you examples of the powers and how to be able to gauge how you're actively using them. So I thought that for a how today that I'd bring that up. Now, to the best of our current evolving capacity, we need to be aware of where we are in consciousness. And Unity identifies it in 4 different stages. We have victim consciousness, and that's where we're separate from God and things are happening to us. And then we have victor consciousness. And I always think of 70s and 80s music, Eye of the Tiger, I Will Survive. And that's where, or even a 2-year-old. Like a 2-year-old when they're first learning, that they can make noise, or they're like, I do. Some of us are still there, but I do. It's that we know that we have some power to affect our reality. And then there's vessel consciousness, and that's very close to being in victim consciousness. Only in vessel consciousness, God is good, but it's still separate from us, and it's being poured upon us like hot fudge. We're still separate. And then there's verity consciousness, where we are living from an awareness of our divine nature. And see, here's the thing about where we are in consciousness. And we all go in and out of those different levels of consciousness, but some of us have a camp that we kind of camp out at. And the only one that can really determine that, and we all go in and out. Even people that have been doing consciousness work for years have their moments of victim consciousness. They just don't pitch their tent and stay there. They kind of drive by and do a drive-by and leave. And that's going to affect how you use your powers. Think about it. If you're in victim consciousness, your faith is going to show up much differently than it would if you're in verity, vessel or verity. So, power of faith, which was the disciple Peter, is our ability to believe, to intuit, to perceive, to have conviction, So let's take a look at that, how we would use that in consciousness. Are you like Eeyore, expecting that your tail's going to fall off? So you might as well keep it off anyways. Or are you using your faith to remind yourself that you have an amazing ability to transcend difficult situations? And then we have the power of will, and that's our power, our faculty, our ability to choose, demand, command, direct, determine. So ask yourself, are you wishy-washy and can't make a decision? Or are you stubborn and must have your way? Or are you using your power of will to direct your thoughts and actions to the highest version of yourself? And then there's love, the disciple John. And that's our ability to feel affection for, to desire, to attract oneself to harmonize and to unify. So ask yourself, are you loving or lustful? Through our desire, we can use love to bring good or bad into our life based on what we focus on. And I came across this by Paul Hasselbeck, Reverend Paul Hasselbeck. And it made me go, ooh, because it was something to think about. If you focus, if the focus in life is on lack, then then that is what seems to be desired, loved. And since what is focused on increases, the result is an abundance of lack. So really, what are you loving in your life? Right, what are you loving? It's whatever we're focusing on is what we're loving. And what's good is we can always shift and change that. So our power of imagination is our ability to visualize, to conceptualize and envision. So are you using your power of imagination to terrorize yourself, or are you using it to set yourself free? Understanding Thomas, that's her ability to know, to perceive, and comprehend the spiritual. Charles Fillmore said that there's two ways you can get understanding, and see if you can relate to this. One is by following the guidance of spirit that dwells within, and the other is to go blindly ahead and learn by hard experience. Anyone been there? Yeah. Yeah. I like to think of the power of understanding as a verb. What don't I know? Sometimes we think we know, but we know like this much. And even if we think we know, there's always more to know. Isn't that awesome? So if I can stay in that vibration of understanding like a verb, it's like, what don't I know? That's, for me, is a place of expanding my consciousness. So, our power of strength is our ability to endure, stay the course, persist, persevere, and be stable. I put down here, think like a tree, but I don't know about you, but the last storms, we've lost a lot of trees in our area. But the whole idea of that, a tree is rooted in principle, right? And then you're able to move with the breeze instead of being, if you're hard and fixated, you're going to snap and break, right? So it's really to ask yourself, are you steadfast or you're bullheaded? And that all depends on our consciousness. So our power of wisdom, which was James, is our ability to judge and discern, to be wise, appraise, apply, what is known. So ask yourself, are you indecisive and judgmental? So it sounds similar to will, and it is. The choice that we ultimately choose is our power of will. I like to think of will as the hands that are on the steering wheel. Everyone else in the back is like, go left, go right, kind of like this morning. When we're like, go left, go right. Ultimately, and look at, you're even wearing silver, like gray, like the power. Like, ultimately, the person, the will is that one that actually clicks the button. So, wisdom is our highest form of our ability to learn and to grow, to question what we already know. And then there's the power of zeal, which was Simon the Canaanite. And that's our ability to be passionate and enthusiastic, as well as the power to inspire and motivate ourselves. When it's underdeveloped, we'll end up being like listless. Overdeveloped, we might be kind of obsessive, compulsive. I like to think of zeal as that spark. It's that spark that supports us in taking action. And then we have elimination, which is Thaddeus. And that's our ability to release and remove, to let go and say no, which is a really important power. Just like physically, we have to be able to release. Our body needs to be able to release toxins and all that from our body. We need to be able to do that too, to keep our bodies running smoothly. So elimination is our ability to release, to remove, let go and say no. So undeveloped, you might be like a pack rat. Overdeveloped, you might quit too easily and like not hold on to anything. from a higher consciousness, it's our ability to forgive and let go. If you're in diet, you would use your power of elimination when you eliminate certain foods from your diet. And when you use denials, you're using the power of elimination to release old beliefs from your consciousness. So, and then there's the power of life, which is our ability to energize, vitalize, enliven, and make whole. So if zeal is the spark, think of life as the gas. Undeveloped, we're apathetic. Overdeveloped, we're frenetic and hyperactive. We use affirmations support us in helping tuning our consciousness, so much like we use exercise for our bodies. So the affirmations are to bring new life. So order, which is James, son of Alphaeus, and that's our ability to organize, sequence, balance, and adjust. Undeveloped, it's someone who is disorganized and can't balance and make adjustments easily. And overdeveloped, we might be obsessive compulsive or hyper detailed. So it's our ability to sequence and plan and balance. And Charles Fillmore said you can't always control what happens, what goes on outside of you, but you can always control what goes on inside of you. See, we always have, the people do have the power. We have the power to choose, to love. And we do that through our ability to vote, our ability to show up, our ability to love, our ability to react and respond. I saw this meme on Facebook and I loved it. It says that your time on earth is limited. Don't try to age with grace. Age with mischief, audacity, and a good story to tell. So wherever you are in the spectrum of life, whatever is going on within you, we are living in tumultuous times once again, right? A lot going on in this world. Know that you have a power within you that is greater than any circumstance and situation, that you have the ability to transcend and create the world that you want to. One thought at a time and one action at a time. So what do we create now? What do we create now? And the answer really is whatever we want to create, whatever we want to give our attention to. So namaste. And I know that you guys have a song, right? And then I do meditation, is that correct? All right. Well, thank you, everybody.
I am here to give and receive love. I am here to give and receive. I am here to give and receive love. I am here to give and receive love. I am here to give and receive. I am here
Alrighty. So I just invite everyone to get comfortable in their chair. I always like to wiggle my toes, rub my legs, maybe even my arms and legs, just to ground myself in this moment, even placing your hand on your heart, allowing your breath to go from, take you from your head into your heart. And I wanted to start with a quote from Marianne Williamson. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. As we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So I'm going to be using a meditation from divine on the power of power, from Divine Audacity, which is by Reverend Linda Matowitz, a former Vice President of Silent Unity. So through my breath, I sense the power of this present moment. I intentionally breathe fully, a full body breath, energizing my whole body. And I invite you guys to take a deep breath. Again, keep breathing deeply until you have a sense, concentration of the spiritual power in your throat chakra. So breathe into your throat chakra, or the root of the tongue. That is the seat of our spiritual power. I invite you to bathe this area with the color of light purple. Allow in a healing stream of light. I am the power of concentration, self-mastery, and spiritual authority. My source of power is divine power. By my divine nature, I cannot be powerless or ill. I am not in the world to cower in the presence of another's power. So I release any hesitancy to shine the full light of spiritual awareness in the world. All power is mine in heaven and earth, in spiritual as well as material aspects of life. By spiritual power, I concentrate on shining the light of love, wisdom, and all spiritual powers into my life and into the world. I am a master of my thoughts, words, and actions. I master myself, respect myself, and hold myself accountable. By spiritual power, I am the presence, in whose presence other people awaken to their divine nature. And let's just take a moment for silence. Know that the everywhere presentness of God, source, spirit, by whatever name we call it, is fully present in and through and as you, that it is you. And all the qualities that you associate with the divine, whether it be love, or intelligence, or beauty, or life, or order, are fully present right here and right now in you. That you are pure potentiality, you are infinite possibility. And you have the power within you to create. And we give thanks. We give thanks for this time of meditation. We give thanks for the reminder of the everywhere presentness of God. We give thanks for the conscious awareness of our own divine nature, for that is the truth that sets us free. We give thanks we're not bound by previous circumstances and situation, and we have the ability to shift, to love, to grow, to manifest, to be the highest version of Christ that we can be. So we let go of any worries and concerns, and we choose heaven. We choose heaven today, right here and now. And then when you're ready, you may come back into this present moment. So it is. Amen.
I'm in my right and perfect place when I accept God's loving grace, when I behold the Christ in every face. I'm in my